My wife accidentally sent me a Venmo request, $50 for your share of dinner tonight. I was in the ICU after a car crash. Hooked to machines. When I didn't pay, she posted in the family group chat, he's too broke to even pay his way, pathetic. I saw it from my hospital bed. I didn't reply. Just signed myself out AMA. That was 6 months ago. Today, her number spammed me with please answer. And a photo of an eviction notice. They shaved my head in patches to staple the wound shut. Left a jagged line down the side of my skull like a zipper someone forgot to close. The machines hummed like tired insects. My right lung was collapsed. My left femur shattered. They said it was a miracle I'd made it through the first 24 hours. And then my phone buzzed. A Venmo request. $50 for your share of dinner tonight. From my wife. No message. No, are you okay? No, I love you. Just a transaction. A bill. I stared at the screen through one swollen eye. My left arm was in a brace. I couldn't even move my thumb to decline it. I let it sit. An hour later, the family group chat blew up. Her message. He's too broke to even pay his way, pathetic. For laughing emojis. Her sister chimed in with, cut him loose, already faced with tears of joy. Her brother, guy's a drain, always was. I was in the ICU. Alone. Hooked to tubes, breathing through a machine. I signed myself out AMA the next day. Didn't tell anyone. Hauled my wreck of a body into an Uber, still in a paper hospital gown under my jacket. Spent 3 days in a cheap motel, shaking from the withdrawal of the pain meds they cut off when I left. She didn't call. Didn't text. Didn't even ask where I'd gone. 6 months ago. I'd met Claire at a conference 3 years back. On paper, she was perfect, finance VP, sharp as glass, Instagram perfect life. We moved fast. Married inside a year. What I didn't see. The rot. The way she'd cut people down behind their backs. How every joke was a test. Every favor had a price. I was just too blind to catch it, too desperate to prove I could keep up. Then came the crash. A teenager blew a red light at 70. I don't remember the impact, just the blur of metal and airbag powder. When I woke up, 2 days were gone. Claire wasn't there. She didn't visit. Didn't call the hospital. Didn't even answer when they contacted her. But she had time to send a Venmo request. After the motel, I moved in with an old friend from college, Tom. Barely knew him anymore, but he took me in. I could barely walk. Couldn't drive. No income, I was on unpaid leave. I filed for legal separation. Froze our joint accounts. Claire didn't fight it. Didn't even show up to the first hearing. But then the text started. You're embarrassing me. You're ruining my image. Just sign the divorce papers and take whatever I offer. When I didn't respond, she escalated. Posted on her socials that I was abusive, unstable, suffering from traumatic brain injury, and unfit to manage my finances. Even said I was faking my injuries for sympathy. Friends ghosted me. My own sister blocked me after Claire DM'd her proof. I barely left the house. Couldn't risk getting served false restraining orders. 3 months ago, Tom got a DM from one of Claire's coworkers. Hey, you should know. She's been bragging about tanking his credit score. Said she used his SSN to open 2 new cards before the separation went through. I checked. She had $14,500 in charges under my name. I hired a lawyer, scraped together a retainer with Tom's help and a loan from another old friend. Filed a fraud report. That's when Claire finally noticed I wasn't just rolling over. 1 month ago, a notice hit my new P.O. box. Claire had listed my name as a non-paying co-tenant on her new luxury apartment lease. Defaulted on 3 months' rent. The complex sent me a collections warning. She was trying to ruin my credit permanently. Keep me stuck in court. I filed a countersuit. Subpoenaed her Venmo records. The group chat logs. Her fraudulent applications. It was ugly. The court date was set for next month. Today. I hadn't heard from her directly in weeks. Then this morning 8:04 a.m. my phone exploded. 23 missed calls. 41 texts. All from Claire. The first few. Please answer. It's urgent. I need you to talk to me. Then the photo. An eviction notice. Bold red letters, vacate immediately. Lease canceled. No appeal. Her perfect life? Imploding. She followed with. They're going to garnish my wages. I can't lose my job too. I know you did this. Please, just talk to me. I put the phone down. Went for a walk, my first unaided since the crash. The scar on my skull itched in the heat. My legs still throbbed with every step. But I smiled. Because for the first time in 6 months, the playing field was even. Epilogue? Not yet. I haven't answered her. But the court date is in 3 weeks. And she doesn't know what's coming. The Venmo screenshots. The fraud reports. The group chat archives. Witness statements from her coworkers. And one more thing. A forensic accountant is tracing her hidden accounts under an alias she used for business expenses. She thinks this is about the eviction. She has no idea it's about to become criminal. Edit 1. For those asking, yes, I kept the hospital Venmo screenshot. It's Exhibit A. Edit 2. Tom's helping me prep the final affidavit. He says I'm playing this like chess. I'm trying. No more reacting. Only moves. Edit 3. Lawyer says do not reply to her texts. I won't. Not until court. Update 1. I held out for a week. Didn't answer a single one of Claire's messages. Blocked the number after she started sending voice notes of herself crying. But it didn't stop her. She switched to email. To burner numbers. You don't understand what's happening. I'm going to lose everything. They're talking about pressing charges if I don't clear this. Please, just meet with me. One time. The more desperate she sounded, the calmer I got. Then, 4 days ago, Tom pulled me aside. He'd gotten a call. From an old mutual friend, Lisa. A bartender we both knew back in the day. Lisa had a story. Claire had been showing up at their bar the last 2 weeks, drunk, slurring, ranting about me. Saying she was going to fix everything before court. That she had one last move. That move hit yesterday. I got an alert from my primary bank, the only account I had left after freezing the joint ones. Unauthorized login attempt. Then, failed password resets. Then while I was on the phone with the bank, an Uber Eats driver showed up at Tom's place. Massive order $300 worth of sushi and champagne under MY name. Paid with one of the fraud cards Claire had opened. She was trying to frame me. I canceled everything. Reported the attempt. The bank's fraud team flagged my file as at risk. My lawyer called me immediately after. She'd been contacted off the record by a DA investigator. Because 2 days earlier, Claire had gone to the police and filed a report claiming I had hacked her phone. I was using stolen accounts to harass her. I was threatening her financial safety. She even provided fake screenshots. But here's where it gets sick. When my lawyer pulled records, the so-called stolen accounts belonged to one of Claire's own coworkers. Someone she'd previously blackmailed over expense fraud. That woman, Emma, had already gone to HR months ago about Claire's behavior. Was in the middle of her own legal fight. And now Claire had dragged her into mine. I felt sick. Not scared anymore, furious. This wasn't just a smear campaign. She was setting up a fall guy. Me. Tom and I met with my lawyer this morning. We laid out everything. The Venmo during ICU. The family chat. The social smears. The credit fraud. The fake Uber Eats trap. The bogus police report. Then my lawyer dropped the hammer. We're filing for criminal charges. Wire fraud. Identity theft. Defamation. Attempted entrapment. And now here's the kicker. The forensic accountant? He found Claire's business expense account. It wasn't a shell. It was an OnlyFans account with thousands in hidden income she'd never reported to the IRS. Under a fake name. Linked to our joint tax filings. Which makes it tax fraud. I sat there in the office staring at the spreadsheet. Everything spiraling deeper than I ever imagined. She was trying to ruin my credit? I can now ruin her legally. IRS. State Fraud Unit. Criminal court. My lawyer smiled. This won't just be a divorce case anymore. And today, literally as I'm typing this, I got one more message. From a new burner number. If you do this, I'll tell everyone about your past. You think you'll walk away clean? Think again. I have no idea what she means. But my gut? Cold. Tight. Because if she's making new lies, she's planning something worse. Next steps. Final charges filed this week. IRS tipped off. Police notified about the Uber Eats entrapment. And court? Still 3 weeks out. I'll update soon. Because something tells me? Claire's not done. And the next move? Could get even darker. Edit 1. For those asking, yes, we have the accountant's report. It's 40 pages. Full income trail. Will be submitted next week. Edit 2. Tom installed external cameras on the house today. Just in case. My lawyer said do not underestimate her capacity for escalation. Update 2. I barely slept after the last update. Tom rotated night shifts, one of us awake at all times. We weren't being paranoid. My lawyer was clear. Claire is in collapse mode. Expect irrational behavior. And she was right. Day after my last post, I got a call from my sister. The one who'd blocked me months ago after Claire fed her lies. She was crying. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. What happened? Claire had shown up at my parents' house unannounced. Banged on the door until my mom answered. Then screamed in the driveway calling me unstable. A scammer and that she'd filed charges. All loud enough that half the neighborhood heard it. My mom called the cops. Claire fled before they arrived. Then 2 hours later, another escalation. I checked my P.O. box. Inside was a manila envelope. No return address. Inside? Color printouts of old ER visit records. Mine. From before the crash, when I'd gone in for anxiety-related chest pain 2 years ago. She'd pulled my old medical records. HIPAA violation likely through a mutual friend at her hospital contacts. Scrawled across the front page in Sharpie. Let's see what the court thinks of this. Unfit. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from pure, sick disbelief. Claire was trying to paint me as mentally unstable to the court. Using old panic attack records. I handed everything to my lawyer. She looked grim. She's escalating to medical defamation. That's a criminal layer now. And then came the next blow. That night, 2:43 a.m., our new cameras caught a car pulling up. Black SUV. Lights off. A figure, small, female, got out. Walked up to the front door. Tried the lock. Then left something on the step. Drove off. We called the cops. They came fast, bless them. The package? A smashed phone. My old phone. The one that had been missing after the crash. The SIM card was still inside. Here's the kicker. When I had been transferred out of ICU, Claire had been in charge of my belongings. That phone was logged as not recovered. Now it showed up, smashed, to plant evidence. My lawyer thinks she was going to claim I'd used it to harass her via burner apps. 3 felonies now in play. Medical fraud/defamation. Identity theft. Evidence tampering/attempted framing. And then, this morning, the message that made me cold. Another burner text. I'm done letting you control this. You humiliated me. You ruined my life. If you go through with this, everyone will know what your family did. Here's where it gets personal. My father. I've barely spoken of him here, but years ago he was in AA for alcoholism. Relapsed once. Claire knew. She was threatening to leak ancient, private family trauma just to scorch earth my side before court. I sat there in Tom's kitchen staring at the screen. Leg shaking. Scar on my skull burning. Tom grabbed my shoulder. She's cornered. That's why she's lashing out. He's right. But it doesn't make it easier. Court is now 9 days out. My lawyer is moving to file for a restraining order preemptively. Motion for immediate evidentiary injunction to block Claire from spreading evidence pre-trial. Notify state AG's office HIPAA breach. And meanwhile, the forensic accountant found one more account. A PayPal line Claire used to funnel money to a second alias for what looks like suspicious online payments. Active during our marriage. Active during our marriage. I haven't told my parents yet. I can't. Not yet. Not while she's threatening them too. But here's the truth. When this goes to court next week, I'm no longer fighting to clear my name. I'm fighting to bury hers legally, irrevocably. Because this isn't about revenge anymore. It's survival. Next update coming. And trust me, she's not done. My lawyer thinks the final days before court will be the ugliest yet. Edit 1. Yes, we've secured off-site backups of all evidence now. Cloud plus offline. Multiple locations. Claire can't nuke it. Edit 2. Tom's brother, ex-military, is staying with us until court date. Added security. Update 3. I barely know where to start. The last 5 days shredded whatever was left of my illusions about how far someone can fall. How far Claire would fall. And who would fall with her. It started 3 days ago. I got a DM on a burner account I only use to track court records and legal forums. Almost no one knows it exists. Message. You can't hide behind lawyers forever. TikTok. No name. But the profile was linked to a new Reddit account. And when I checked the activity, Claire's brother had posted in a local subreddit the night before ranting about parasites who fake injuries and ruin women's careers. Same language. Same timeline. That night, Tom's brother, the ex-military one, spotted something on the street cams. A black SUV had circled the block 4 times in 1 hour. We pulled the plates. Belonged to a rental. Paid with a corporate card. Registered to Claire's company. Next day, court eve. My lawyer called, voice tense. Be ready. Claire's filed an emergency motion. She was trying to force an emergency psychiatric evaluation on me using the fake medical evidence from the stolen ER files. Claimed I was mentally deteriorating, posing a risk to public safety. It didn't work. Judge saw through it. Motion denied. But the timing? Chilling. She was trying to get me institutionalized the day before court. And then the worst hit. That night, 1:17 a.m. Our house alarm triggered. Side window forced open. By the time we got downstairs, whoever it was gone. But on the living room floor, duct taped to a broken chair, was a package. Inside, printouts of my parents' old AA group records, photos of my sister's old custody filings, and a note. If you take the stand tomorrow, this goes public. We called the cops. Again. Filed the full report. Lawyer called the DA. They're adding witness intimidation and breaking and entering to the charge stack. And this morning, court day, the final betrayal hit. My father. The one I thought was finally on my side after seeing Claire's collapse. He showed up to court with her brother. Sat on their side. Wouldn't meet my eyes? Afterward, I found out. Claire had offered him a deal. $25,000 under the table if he testified that I'd been unstable for years. He needed the money. Sold me out. When I took the stand, I was shaking. Not from fear, from something colder. But I laid it all out. The Venmo in ICU. The family chat. The credit fraud. The police framing. The forged evidence. The HIPAA violation. The breaking and entering. And the OnlyFans and PayPal laundering. It was devastating. Claire sat stone-faced. But as the forensic accountant spoke, her hands started to tremble. And then the final blow. IRS agent walked in. Subpoena served live in court. When it ended, Claire didn't even wait for the judge. She stood up, turned to me, and hissed. This isn't over. You think you won? You've got nothing left. But she's wrong. I have everything left. Because even if I have no family now, not really, I have truth. I have legal ground. And I have freedom from her. Outcome. Restraining order granted. Criminal case referred to DA. IRS charges pending. All fraudulent debts cleared. Divorce finalized. I owe her nothing. But here's the part one didn't expect. When I got home, there was a letter on my step. No return. No signature. Inside. Watch your back. You burned the wrong bridges. I handed it to the cops. They're investigating. But I know. Claire isn't done. Even stripped of power, some people can't stop destroying. And me? I'm leaving this house. Moving cities. New name pending. Because peace? I won't get it. Not from her. Not from my family. But I can get distance. And that's all I need now. Final edit. Thank you to every stranger who followed this. There's no happy ending. Just survival. And sometimes that's enough.